Greetings, everyone. You're listening to the Aquila View. I'm your host, Narayan, and you're back again with a very interesting episode today because this is the first team that we are interacting with that is from the Brazilian circuit, and I personally am really excited to, record this session, and that could probably be tell by that it's around 12:30 here in India that we are recording this session, and I'm super excited. So, before we actually move into the podcast, I'd firstly like to welcome all of the team members from Team Stingzer. And I'd like to tell you more about what the team does and how actually Brazilian circuit works in the next course of 20 to 25 minutes. And we'll definitely talk to all of these young minds over different aspects of Formula One in schools and their very adventurous journey till here. So, before wasting any time further, let's get into the podcast. Firstly, on behalf of the whole Aquila View family, I'd like to welcome each and every member of Team Stinger, and it's my real honor that I am probably able to do this and record this session with all of these people. We'd start the introduction by just breaking the ice by Bruno.
Yep, I'm here. So, it's an honor to be here as well for the invite.
Thank you so much, Bruno. I just like that if you guys could just give a very little introduction about yourselves and what your hobbies are and what is your role in the team.
Right. So, I'm the engineer for the team.
Okay.
Um, really been into cars my whole life, and also planes. I recently took a flight lesson,
All right.
and I think that's it, really.
Awesome. Carlos.
Um, so partially engineer the team, but recently I've been helping on the financial part of the team as well. And
Okay.
I guess just like Bruno, I also have like a kind of passion with cars and in cars in general. But also have some other hobbies like music and video games too.
All right. That's amazing. Marina, what are your interests and what's your role in the team?
So I'm the graphic designer of the team, and I'm very interested in arts. Like, I love writing, I love music, and yeah, that's it.
Okay, that's amazing. Yasmin, you could go next.
So, as you know, my name is Yasmin,
Yeah.
and I'm 15, and I take care of the team's social media.
Okay.
And I'm really into writing and reading and into Formula One. I'm a fan, definitely, and that's why I got into this project.
Amazing. So, talking about Brazil as a country, I don't know which city you guys come from, right? So, I'd like to know about your city and what is special about your city, and also, what's the situation of COVID and the pandemic back there in the city? We could start from Bruno.
Okay, so we're from Curitiba. It's from the southernmost point of Brazil. We are recognized in Brazil as the city of capybaras. Don't know if you know what a capybara is.
No, I'm not really aware of that.
It's the biggest rodent on Earth. It's kind of like a big rat.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. COVID is kind of bad right now. I haven't really followed it, but it's not that good. Could be better.
Exactly. So, what's the situation? Still a lockdown phase going on, or lockdown has been unlocked, or like, what is it?
Yeah, it's kind of lockdown and kind of isn't because there's some things that are still working normal and some things that aren't.
Okay.
Really depends on what that is. Like our school. Our school is half online school and half present school, like physical school.
Okay. That's really amazing. At least you guys are having an opportunity to at least go and attend a physical school, right? But back there in India, we haven't seen. We haven't seen our schools, buildings, and premises in almost, I guess, 2 years right now. So, the situation is really, I mean, worse here just after hitting the second wave of COVID here. And, now we could consider that all right, we are able to stabilize ourselves, but I mean schools and all of these, I mean educational institutes are still not opened in person. I mean it's still happening online. Right. So that is about, I guess, and I mean, yeah, I mean, you told about your city, but I mean, we forgot to tell you guys about our city. So we come from a city called Indore, and it's the financial capital or financial hub of Central India. And that is it. And also, I mean, we are the first ever team from Central India to ever participate in Formula One in schools as a competition. So that is it. And our city is really known for its foodie culture, and it's also known as the food capital of India. So if you are ever visiting India, it's I mean, it would be our pleasure to have you and assist you and escort you to some of the best dishes in India, you could probably say, right? So that is it. Yasmin, you were saying something.
That's really cool. You're like leading Central India to this project. It's really cool. So it's here in our city. It's all working with restrictions. So not the not everyone can go to
Got the point.
everywhere. So that's like 50% of the capacity of yeah. Um, it's hard, kind of hard to live the situation, but we can go through this. So yeah, that's it.
Okay, amazing. Okay. I mean, I guess we talked multiple things that are not related to Formula One in schools, right? So my first question to you all is that how did you guys started your journey in this competition, and how did you? I mean, how you all came together, and how the team came into existence, and what's the meaning behind your team name? And yeah, that's it. I mean, I like to have everyone's opinion on that, starting from Bruno.
Our team started in 2019. Yep. Um, there's a teacher that's still with us. He also really likes Formula One, and he's the one that brought the project to our school. And he kind of made a forms for people who wanted to participate, and he chose 6 people. Three of which are here. Like it's me, Carlos, and Marina. We were from 2019, and since then, COVID hit in March. I think we started in February, and March COVID hit, and then we were kind of stagnated in a point we couldn't really advance because we couldn't go after uh, any sponsors because everything was closed down, and we couldn't participate in any competitions because none of them were going on at the time.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. So, I mean, a teacher came in and brought Formula One in schools competition to your school, and uh, basically, the teacher selected some kids, and probably, as you said, that Bruno, Carlos, and Marina are from the 2019 batch, and Yasmin joined you this year, I guess, right? So that's amazing, right? So I mean, I really wanted to ask that how the Brazilian team of F1 in schools is managing this whole virtual scenario, right? Because I guess I mean everyone is sitting at their homes and everything is happening virtual, right? So I mean, are you guys really enjoying the process that we all are going through in terms of submitting our work online and not conducting our race in person? And what's your opinion on that?
Um, our F1 in schools in Brazil is kind of not really organized.
Okay,
Uh, they've been kind of silent for a few months.
okay,
They had a competition recently, but only for some teams, not all of them.
all right.
And there's also another thing that our school is from a bigger organization, the SESI. Don't know if you know, but it's like the social services for the industry.
Oh,
Our school is part of that, and that in itself has a kind of subliminary F1 in schools kind of organization, and that also kind of limits us to going to the nationals or to the regionals.
Amazing, right? Carlos, what's your opinion on that? I mean, I guess you guys have been participated in 2019 as well, right? So, I mean, what do you think? And what would you prefer, a physical competition or a virtual competition that we all are stuck in right now?
So yeah, in terms of competition, like it's kind of complicated. We've participated on like a competition in on the very beginning of 2020, like on March. I don't remember. Like it was just before COVID waves. We were very like on the start of the team at the time, so we didn't like made it. But it was a cool like experience. But right now, it's kind of complicated. I think every team's kind of prefer the the presential, like the present competitions. But in terms of reality, I guess it's impossible to make one like that. And I guess going more for like online competitions is the only way we can do it right now.
Exactly. Right. So, I mean, I personally feel that, a physical competition would have been much more fun, right? Because, we get to have much more physical races and, meet new people and connect with them and have a communication. And, that's a whole different vibe, right? Moving on, I guess, my further question is for the team's social media manager, probably Yasmin, I guess, right? So, Yasmin, I'd like to know that how you, as the social media handler or manager, is managing the whole team's social media, and what is your strategy behind managing the social media? Because when it comes to, managing the digital media, there are a lot of strategies that we need to make. I guess you have to even collaborate with Marina in order to get designs because she manages the graphic designs. So, how are you guys probably aligning it with your team identity because that's also a big chunk of Formula One in schools.
So I cannot say much about the design part because that's exactly what Marina does. But I started this year in this team, but so they had a manager before. But the first thing I asked was like, who are our followers? You know, so many people were friends and family, and they did not know much about the F1 in schools. So the first thing we started to do is like explain to these people what is the project and how it is good, like why it is good for us, and make these people know what we are doing. And we are um, not teaching people, but giving them information about this project and F1 as a whole, And um, yeah, so
Yeah,
I have some kind of ideas for what to post, and I always talk to Marina, so she does the design and things, and we work together because it's impossible to work everyone in their box. But yeah, that's basically it.
yeah, yeah. Interesting, right? So, Marina, as Yasmin told that, probably she takes your help in order to get designs done. So the question is that how are you aligning your designs with team's identity, right? And I really want to know about how you're doing that.
Well, so about our team's identity, like when we were deciding on like what will our team look like, we were thinking about like choosing an animal, like mainly because we thought we could plan our identity like directly on it, So we at some point we decided to choose like a bee as our mascot because we thought like our visual identity like would come completely from it. So we use all the elements that are related to a bee, like the hexagons from the beehive, the stripes, and like that's the main idea behind our identity. It's like the bee colors and like the elements related to it. and of course, like some elements from Formula One, like the tracks and yeah.
Got it right, and I mean I really saw your social media, and I could probably now relate it to it, right? Because as you told, I mean the B is the thing that you probably focused on, right? And I could see yellow colors and yellow, I mean mixture of yellow and black, and also some hexagon shapes and all of these things. So I mean, great job on that, Marina. I guess because it really looks like what you, I mean, said. So I mean, that's amazing. Moving on to, I mean, the engineering part of Formula One in schools, and I guess, I mean, moving on to the car part and how you guys designed it, right? So I really wanted to ask that. I mean, what's your inspiration behind designing any car structure? I mean, how you probably take your car design from scratch to till manufacturing your car, and what's your inspiration behind it?
So we really look at real life motorsports like Formula E, Formula One, 2 and 3, also Formula Indy. We take inspiration from those, and we also kind of merge with other Formula One and school cars from past seasons or even current ones.
All right, that's amazing, right? I mean, I guess we have been interacting from to multiple teams, I guess, and the most, I mean, the answer that we really get is that we really get inspired from Formula One cars, and also Formula One schools cars, right? And I mean, that's the best inspiration we could get, and the best idea we could get as an engineer in order to just build the car, because I mean, we really get a sense of what a Formula One in schools car should look like, right? Moving on, Bruno, I'd like to ask that. I mean, what softwares are you using in order to design and in order to obviously analyze and test your car design?
So we're using Fusion 360, me and Carlos, and for a while we used the Autodesk Flow Design, which was it's kind of a fluid dynamics simulator, but it was for a worse PC because we didn't really have a PC that could run it. And then recently I was fortunate enough to get an upgrade for my PC, and now we're using the Autodesk CFD, the computer fluid dynamics.
Amazing, right? Amazing to know that as well. So I guess as we talked about engineering part, we talked about the social media part, and also the graphic designing part, right? I mean, the main thing comes here is whichever thing you do, you need a particular budget for that, right? And if I talk about budget, it directly relates to sponsorships, right? And sponsorship is a big deal if we talk about the F1 in schools team, right? So how are you guys probably dealing with that thing, right? I mean, Carlos, as you told that you're also looking up into finances. So I'd like to know that how you have probably break down the, I mean, the budget and the finances of the team, and how you have aligned it with the resources that you guys need, and how are you guys approaching sponsors, right? Are you approaching for more kind sponsors or cash sponsors? Because we are in a time of recession right now, where companies are not having that much of business. So I mean, it would be very, what I mean, it would be very cliche in order to approach a company that, all right, we need sponsorship, right? So how are you dealing with all of these problems?
So yeah, like I said, most companies, especially here in Brazil, took like a big hit because of the pandemic. But in terms of budget of like planning stuff, we've been doing quite a big job. We've been like observing, watching the price of stuff, writing down, putting some sheets with the prices, and we here and there we like update a list of prices to establish like some standards, like the fixed price to like about some sponsors to show information and like show to them we have already things planned if they want to sponsor us.
All right.
But uh, we've been talking with companies on the last year, especially, but in this year, we've been stuck with other things. We didn't tackle some companies yet, but we've been planning a lot of stuff. I think sooner we are going to talk with some companies about sponsors.
Amazing, right? It's just a follow up question for you. That how do you actually approach a company? Do you? Is it just cold emailing them, or you use some mutual contacts, or you probably give them a call, or how does that process look like of communications?
Uh, Initially, we've emailed them with like a first contact, but on the past, one company actually showed us like some interest, and we was not me. It was a past member. He exited the band, the team, and but he talked to them. He gave them a call, I think a video call, and they talked. But unfortunately, the things didn't went that well. We didn't like finish in the sponsor. But well, yes, we like first an email, first contact, and then we start talking, explain the competition, the team, and then we gonna developing this communication.
Amazing. The process looks simple as it is like that. If you want to approach an X company, you'll probably find out their email address and mail them. And if they probably revert back to you, and then, if the communication starts from there, then you probably schedule a meeting with them or have a communication over call. Or it looks like that. I guess it's the same process that we are also following here in India, right? And this is the best process we could call, right? Until unless you have some mutual contacts or direct contacts in the company, right? Amazing. So I guess we also covered the financial aspect of F1 in schools team. I guess I guess by this we have almost came to the conclusion of the podcast. So before we conclude, I'd like to know that why, why the hell you joined F1 in school competition? I really wanted to know that because I've been hearing, from multiple teams that this competition has really changed them as a person, and they have really evolved their skills, right? And they have really gained skills, gained knowledge, gained a network, gained leadership skills, and get a lot of things out of the competition. So, I'd like to know, have each and everyone's opinion on this, that why you joined F1 in school as a competition, starting from Bruno.
Well, I started because I've always liked Formula One, but I really wasn't like into it. I was, oh, cool, Formula One. But with this project, I've really gotten into it. I've researched a lot, and also I didn't know anything about 3D modeling. Now I know a fair bit about it.
Awesome. Carlos, what was the reason that you joined the competition?
I guess it's a similar like motive. I also like motorsport in general, and then the project came in, and I started like getting more and more into it. And also like I developed a bunch of skills that I definitely use in the future. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Amazing. Marina.
Well, I decided to join because I'm really passionate about graphic design, so I thought it would be a good opportunity to do it. And also because I'm very like connected with Formula One because I used to watch it with my dad and I lost him some years ago, so I thought it would be good to have this connection again.
Exactly. So, you probably got a platform to showcase your talent, right? Amazing. Yasmin, why you joined it?
So there were two main reasons for me to get into the project. One is because I'm a Formula One fan. It's been more than a year that I watch like almost every Sunday the races. Um, and the second reason is that I knew that I could develop much skills, um, and the sense that we get for entrepreneurship and the project is really nice. I think it's something that I will carry with me for all my life.
Yeah, and as you told Yasmin that you'd carry this project for life. I mean, the tagline says Formula One skills that it's a experience of a lifetime, right? And that you probably won't get. Nowhere in later stages of your life, right? So these are the probable reason that even we joined this competition, that even we wanted to probably set our communication skills through and gain some 3D skills and create a network probably, right? And connect with people and talk to them and build relations, and this is it. So, I guess by this, we definitely have came to an end of this wonderful episode, and it was really, really nice talking to all of these amazing people from Team Stingerzz, all the way from Brazil, and also, I guess, apart from talking about F1 in schools, we also had an off-topic conversation with all of these people. We really had a we really had a great time recording this session with of the Aquila view. I hope that even all of the people listening to it also really enjoys the same. So by this, I guess we're great to conclude, and stay tuned to the Aquila view. We'll be coming with many episodes in the near future, and that is it. And I'm your host Narayan again, signing off for this particular episode. Thank you so much, guys.